Listen, while you're standing, let's go to 2 Kings chapter 4. 2 Kings chapter 4. I'm just going to read one verse to begin. I'm just going to read one verse. Can y'all believe it's almost 2026? Almost 2026. How much time we got left? 38 minutes? 38 minutes. I ain't got no voice, y'all, so I hope y'all got enough of y'all. Y'all got all the holler, right? I'm at the end of whatever I had this week, so I'm going to finish the word. Try not to go hoarse on my way out, all right? I do believe I have a word from the Lord for somebody. I'm going to read verse 2. That's it. And Elisha said to her, "What shall I do for you? Tell me what you have in the house." And she said, "Your servant has nothing in the house except a jar of oil." On your way down, find somebody that looks much better than you and tell them, "All I got is some oil." Come on, find somebody else that looks real good tonight and tell them, "All I got is some oil." I'm not going to be able to preach it like I feel it, though. There's a statement that I recently read that said, faith works best in the middle of impossibility. Picture this. You've done all you can, and it still seems like nothing is working. Your heart is heavy, your mind is overwhelmed, and your strength is almost gone. And you wonder if God sees you. Does this God who sits high on the throne, does he even care? And if he can do anything, will he do it? Tonight, as we say goodbye to 2025, I want you to know this: God can meet you right where you are. I should have got at least 7 amens right there. He can take your struggles, your doubts, and your weariness and turn them into breakthrough hope and new life. I believe that 2026 doesn't have to be more of the same. It can be the year that we all see God move in ways that we've never imagined. Now, here's the good news. Here's your shout part. God doesn't just meet us in the middle of impossibility. He also gives us a strategy to move from where we are to where he wants us to be. And I believe that's exactly what we're going to see tonight in 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 1 through 7. This passage, it shows us a widow who's on the brink of losing everything. Her situation looks hopeless. Her resources are gone. And yet God invites her to take what little she has, step out in faith, and follow his plan. We're just going to have Bible study. Is that all right? We're just a Bible-believing church. Let's start at verse 1. The Bible says, "Now the wife of one of the sons of the prophets cried to Elisha, 'Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that your servant feared the Lord. But the creditor has come to take my 2 children to be slaves.'" Verse 1 tells us everything that we need to know about her current state of life. She's a widow, she's young, she's broke, and she's on the cusp of losing her children to slavery due to her surmounting debt. Now, I honestly don't believe that life could have gotten any worse for this single mother, this widow. I know somebody's scratching your head like, but didn't she just say that my husband was a prophet? He was under Elisha, and he served God faithfully. Now, how in the world can she have a husband who's working in full-time ministry? She has all of this faith, and then yet God allowed all this bad stuff to happen to her. The truth of the matter is, God never promised a trouble-free life. I apologize for every prophet, every pastor, every bishop or apostle who made you think that when you came down to the altar and you threw your hands up in the air and you waved them like you just didn't care, that you wasn't going to never have your money be funny and your change be strange. You was never going to have marriage problems. You was never going to lose your job. You was never going to lose. You lost your car because you didn't pay the car note. It had nothing to do with God. But God never promised that we would ever have a trouble-free life. Now, here's the thing. If we could get past letting our circumstances and situations dictate the depth of our relationship with God, we would walk in mental and emotional victory more in 2026 than we did in 2025. Let me slow it down. Let me say that again so they can get it. If we could get past letting our circumstances and our situations dictate the depth of our relationship with God, we would walk in mental and emotional victory more in 2026 than we did in 2025. Because if truth be told, many of the issues and problems you had in the natural realm, didn't they work themselves out? Come on, think about it for real. If you thought about some of the problems you had in January, in February, and March, that thing worked out by July. That thing worked out by September and October. But what was the real problem? The issue was, it was in your mind, in your emotions, where you got beat the heaven and hell out of you. It wasn't even the situation. The situation worked itself out. So I believe that's why Paul, he dealt with this and he spoke to this issue in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 through 5. It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we are not waging war according to the flesh. Verse 4, for the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, or your favorite version says what? Are not carnal, but have divine power to destroy strongholds. Verse 5 says, somebody need to be writing that verse down. We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God and take some of the thoughts, a little bit of the thoughts, every thought captive to, can I just teach this morning? Two things I need you to take in 2026. Number one, if you're a writer, write this down. You have divine power to destroy strongholds. I'm trying to help somebody walk in victory. I know you want me to get up here and tell you you're about to be rich, but you're not. Most of us not going to be rich by the end of 2026. But I can tell you, you can walk in mental victory and emotional victory in 2026. Why? Because the Bible has already promised that we have divine power to destroy strongholds. What's a stronghold, Pastor? It's a fortified way of thinking that resists God's truth. It can be lies. It can be fears, bitterness, trauma, pride, sinful patterns. What do? They shape how you think and they shape how you react. Here's the thing. Our power was not meant for us to manage strongholds. It was meant for us to destroy strongholds. That's the power that you have that you didn't use in 2025, but I just want to tell somebody you got it so that you can use it in 2026. What's the second truth you want us to take away right here, Pastor? That divine power allows you to take captive your contradicting thoughts. So too many of us have been passively accepting any thought that comes to our mind, but God is calling us tonight to confront them in 2026. The devil's been living, his lie's been living rent-free in your mind all year long. You've been trying to cast out devils out of your kids, out of your teenagers, out of your neighbors, out of your husband, out of your wife. You should have been trying to cast them out of your mind because you've been believing all of those lies that the enemy has been telling you. Somebody not even going to like this, but your marriage ain't even that bad. It's the lies of the devil that's been telling you this that bad. You know, your kids ain't even that bad. They just teenagers. Teenagers going to do some stuff, but you got the enemy. But God says you got the power to say, devil, you a liar. I'm not accepting that. What he done told you about you, the reason why you won't walk out in faith, the reason why you won't step out and do what he told, because the lies that you are allowing to live rent-free in your head. And God is saying, you have the power to say, Satan, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You got to go. You got to go. God is calling us to examine those thoughts, measure them against Scripture, and put them under the authority of Christ. In that Bible, I got any Bible readers in here? I can only imagine the thoughts that this woman was having, wrestling with God. God, you took my husband. while my kids were young, and you made me a single mother with no income. You don't care about me, God. You don't love me, God. But here it is. Regardless of the thoughts that she wrestled with, she had just enough strength and just enough faith to take her tears to the prophet. I believe that too many of us are stuck crying in our pillows, and we haven't had enough strength and enough faith to get off the pillow and get to God. God never told us to suffer in silence. Why have you suffered all year long in silence? You haven't taken it to God, nor have you taken it to God's people. Let me give you two nuggets right here. God invites us to bring our pain to him. God invites us. I got a Bible for you. Psalms 34:17 says, when the righteous cry for help. What's the promise, y'all? When the righteous, I was going to point to it, but it ain't up there yet. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all of their troubles. That's the promise that God has for us. When we cry, we don't just have to cry on our pillow, but we can cry and go to God. Second truth I want you to take from here is God welcomes tears, not just strength. Some of us, we have been known to just always be strong. Are you the strong friend? Who's the strong friend in here? It's a strong friend on every row. And the problem is because that's in every area of your life. You're the strong friend. You're the strong family member. You're the strong spouse. So when you get to God, all you know is I got to be strong. And God is like, what are you being strong for with me? I'm the one that wants to be your strength. I'm the one that wants to be your present very help. That's who I want to be in your life. Lamentations, whole book about crying. Lamenting 2:19 says, pour out your heart like water before the presence of the Lord. God welcomes your tears, not just your strength. Let's go. We have in Bible study. What's verse 2? Look at verse 2. And Elisha says to her, so when she come to him, she says, hey, this is what's going on in my life. What does Elisha say? He says, what shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in the house? And she said, your servant has nothing in the house except a jar of oil. So what does Elijah start doing? He starts brainstorming, trying to figure out, how can I help her? Now check this out. This had me tripping this week. She has a money problem, but yet Elisha, he don't offer her no money. Because that's usually what you want, right? When you're struggling financially, you go to somebody and you say, hey, I got 5 bills, I can't pay the rent. You want somebody to say, okay, how much you need? He starts saying, what you got in the house? Because them flat screens, we can sell the flat screens. We can pawn the flat screens. You got some nice vases in the house. I'm sure we can pawn them at the market. So he's like, what do you have in the house? You may say, well, why didn't he just write her a check? He serves a God who has cattle on 1,000 hills. He could have just sold a couple of cattle and wrote a check and moved on with his life. But here's the reason why. Because if I cover her debt today, Dr. Casey, it only solves the symptoms of today. But it doesn't solve her long-term ailment, which is a lack of income. This is what God showed me this week. The reason why some of you can't get out and stay out of the hole that you're in is because you keep solving today's symptoms and not solving the actual long-term ailment in your life. I got 2 questions I need you to take home to pray over and talk with. Go home, ask yourself if you're single, ask your spouse if you're married. Here it is. Everybody write these questions down. What is the root cause of our symptom? What is the root cause? Yes, we know what the symptom is. Baby, we know the symptom, but the reason why we keep ending up at the symptom every 6 months, every 12 months, every 24 months is because we keep trying to solve the symptom. Second question, what is the best long-term solution? So those are 2 questions you got to take. Somebody better cash at me tonight for this right here. This was worth the price of admission, just getting these 2 questions. Somebody say that with me. What is the root cause of our symptom? Second question, what is the best long-term solution? Take those two questions. Go ask yourself, ask God to help you answer these questions. Here it is. So Elisha starts probing to see what she has in the house. Here it is. The reason he starts probing is because he already knows a miracle is needed. So the question he has now is, by what means does she already have so God can work with what she already has? Y'all with me? She then says, all I got, Charity, is some oil. Somebody shout, all I got is some oil. Here's the word God gave me this week for somebody. Stop looking for a new thing when you haven't even let me fully bless what you already have. Stop looking for a new thing when you haven't even fully, this is what God is saying, you haven't even fully let me bless what you already, he didn't tell her to go start a new business. He didn't tell her to go get another degree. He said, first, let's start with what you already have, because the miracle is going to flow from what's already in your house. And then after that, everything else is going to flow out of that. I had to write this one down. This is the prophetic word God gave me for our house. Receive it if you believe it. In 2026, he's blessing the oil that's already in your house. It took 3 days of fasting in a hotel to get that one sentence. You better take it and run with it. In 2026, he's blessing the oil that's already in your house. What does the oil represent? The oil represents the skill set, the talent, and the experience you already have that you have either gave up on or overlooked. This is what I told my leadership team today or yesterday. I said the message that God gave me today is either going to change somebody's path for 2026 or it's going to confirm the path that you're already on. Because somebody's looking for everything you got planned and lined up for 2026 is something new. And God is like, you ain't even let me bless what you already had, and you already trying to move on to the next thing. Pause. Yes, we're going to do that, but it's going to all flow out of the miracle that's going to flow through from what's already in your house. Okay. The woman nor anybody else would have ever thought that the last thing she has in the house, the oil, is about to transform her entire family's life. Who would have believed it? It's not big enough. It's not smart enough. It's not intelligent enough. This is not what's blessing everybody else's house. Sheesh. We still in Bible study. We still in, is this my introduction? I don't know. We here. Whatever. Verse 3, Bible study. Then he said, go outside, borrow vessels from all of your neighbors, empty vessels and not too few. Then go in and shut the door behind yourself and your sons and pour into all the vessels. And when one is full, what does he do? Set it aside. Verse 5. So she went from him and shut the door behind herself and her sons, and she poured. And as she poured, they brought the vessels to her. Okay, listen to this. So once Elisha concludes that the miracle is coming through the oil, he moves to strategy. He has identified the substance of the miracle. Now he gives her the strategy for the miracle. Somebody asked the neighbor, say, what's the substance? After you discover the substance, that's when you can discover and receive the strategy. So they got the substance, that's the oil. Now here's the strategy. Here's the thing. Some of you are wrestling on the inside because of you're somewhat excited, like, yes, I'm happy, I'm excited, I get to go back and do that again. But then there's a quandary that you have as well because you've tried this before. And yet you're still in the same hole. Pastor, I hear what you're saying, and God has already brought it to my mind what you're talking about, but the fact is, I've already tried that before. We tried to start that before. We tried to launch that before. We tried to go. We went down that road before. We lost money. We lost time. We lost energy. It caused us to fight. We lost the car. We had the lights off. All of these different things. Look at somebody and say, trust God and try again. The reason why it didn't work last time is because you didn't move to God's strategy or you had the wrong strategy. You either had no strategy or you didn't have God's strategy. One or the other. Look at somebody and say, you either didn't have God's strategy or you didn't have no strategy at all. You just had a substance and you went to running and was like, let's go do the doggone thing. That's what faith will have you do. That's overabundance of faith. There's some people out there, they lose money, they lose time, because as soon as they find out what the substance is, they gone. We're not doing that in 2020. We're not doing that in 2026 no more. This is your word from the Lord. No more taking substance and running. Strategy. Somebody shout strategy. Now, I think it's important that we closely examine the strategy Elisha gives the widow because there's a few things we have to take note of. So what does he do? He tells her to go outside, borrow a bunch of vessels from the neighbor. He just says, don't get a few. Don't get a few. Then come back, shut the door with your sons inside, and pour the oil in one vessel until it is full, then pour into the next. So there's 4 things that I learned about the strategy that God showed me this week. 1, the strategy comes from God. Write this down. If this is for you, write this down. The strategy comes from God. So many of you in here already know what the substance is. You already know what's in your house that God is going to bless. Now, what do you do next? I need the strategy. Where do I get it from? You get it from God. It starts with prayer. It starts with saying, God, somebody going to have to pray that tonight. God, show me what to do with the substance. What do I do with the gift? What do I do with the skill? What do I do with the strategy? Because guess what? It may not look like what you read in the book. I know you've read books. I know we got mentors, we got coaches, we got all of those things. But guess what? Sometimes it don't look like what anybody has ever done before. Now, don't get it twisted. God will use people. God will use people. He will use the prophets in your life. He will use the pastors in your life. He will use the mentors. He will use the coaches in your life. You just got to know and confirm that this strategy that I have, it is a divine strategy. And I'm not going to lie to you, God's divine strategy for me has never made sense. It has always been uneasy, and he'll take my strategy and he'll change it. He did it. 2027, Project 2027, what did God tell us to do? Raise $300,000. He said, this is what I thought he told me to do. He told me to raise the money, Casey. But that was me. I was like, 100, 300, we can do that. We can work that. That's manageable. I ain't got to lose no sleep with that. We launched it, everything in. The end of the 3rd quarter, I meet with my mentor. My mentor says, that's not God. Like, what? What do you mean? You see how pretty this is? We got the webpage. We got everything. He says, double it. He says, what God wants to do through you and in your church, you need twice as much as that. Hold on, 100, 200, 300. You mean like double as in like times 2? So we need 600? But Pastor, you don't know how many people we got in our church. He said 600. I said, you know what? Because I'm scared to not follow God. Right? I'm at this point. Now, I ain't always been like this. But at some point, you got to get to a point to where you're scared to not follow God. You're scared to miss God. You're tired of bumping your head. You're tired of getting spanked. You're tired of getting whipped. And you're just like, whatever. I'm just going to fall on my face following God if that's what I got to do. So we changed it from 300 to 600. I have no idea. That's what it's supposed to feel like. When God gives you the divine strategy, you may be like, this makes no sense. She going to her neighbor's house like, can I borrow all your vessels in your house? What? These is clay pots and all this kind of stuff. Like, can I borrow all of them? Me and my son, we're gonna bring them back, don't worry. And then, I'm pretty sure they gossiping all up in the neighborhood. They all up in the neighborhood chat like, ooh, did Keisha come over there and ask you to borrow all of her pots? They all in the marketplace talking about you. Like, what you doing? Strategy comes from God. Here's the second thing that I see. The strategy must be followed exactly. The strategy that God gives you, you have to follow it exactly to the T. You can't skip over what's uncomfortable. I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why some of y'all have not reached the place where God wanted you to be is because you keep cutting out the part that's uncomfortable. And then here's the sad part. You try to spiritualize it. God gonna do that. I ain't got to do that. I ain't even got to tell nobody I got this product. God just gonna send people down my street. It's gonna be a light bulb over my house. Thousands of people. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he make a way out of no way? You still got that product in that garage too, don't you? Somebody just wasn't God's timing. Because you didn't want to do what was uncomfortable. You didn't want to tell people. You didn't want to market. You didn't want to promote. I don't know what that thing is, but something's going to be uncomfortable about it. Something is going to, you got to follow it exactly to the T. What did he tell her? Get the pots. Go in. Close the door behind you and your sons. And then pour one at a time. And that's all he gave her to do. So the second one is what? So first is the strategy comes from God. Two, the strategy must be followed exactly. Here's the third thing that I learned from this. The strategy has a specific location. He told her exactly where to take the pots, which was what? Her house. He could have said, take it to the wilderness, take it to the mountains, take it to the top of the mountain, and God is just going to pour oil down. He's going to do whatever. He said, nope, it's in your house. So now you're asking God what the strategy is. Where do I manifest this strategy at? Where? Are you getting this? It's too many ways for me to even try to make this make sense to you. You just got to know, God, where do I do what you're telling me to do? Where? What city? What state? Am I supposed to be on social media? Which social media platform am I supposed to be on? Where do I send the product? Where do I get it tested at? Where do I do? What's the location, God? That's how specific you got to be. Because God has already blessed the path. So if you're in the wrong location, she couldn't have did it at her friend's house. Because the prophet told her specifically, at your house, and close the door. And here's the fourth thing that I learned. The strategy involves specific people. The only people that could be in her house, based on the strategy, was her sons. I think the problem that a lot of us, the reason why we didn't move forward with the substance, the thing that God hated the last time we tried it, is because we had the wrong people on board. We didn't have who was supposed to be in there in the room with us, or we had people in the room that wasn't supposed to be there. Again, some of us, our lack of faith has caused us to invite people in the room that was never meant to be there. If I get the smartest people, then I ain't really got to believe God. If I got the wealthiest people on my team, then I really ain't got to believe God. I ain't got to fast for it. I ain't got to pray for it. I ain't got to get on my knees and say, God, we got 24 hours left. Because I've built the team of people that now removes God out of it. We don't need God anymore. So there is no reason. I don't have nothing to step out on faith on because I've built. Y'all getting something out of this? While there was so much specificity in the strategy, this jumped out at me so hard. The only ambiguous part was how many vessels there were to gather. All he said was, don't get a few, which means she could have gotten 10, she could have gotten 20, she could have gotten 30, she could have gotten 100. He just said, just don't only get a few. Here's what you need to know. The ambiguity opens the door for you to activate your faith. So there's going to be something in the strategy where you're going to have to use your faith because it's not going to be specific. I don't know what that part is. Wherever that part is, where you say, I feel like this isn't clear, that's probably where you got to use your faith. He said, all he said was, just don't get a few. Let's go, we got to move. Verse 6, he says, when the vessels were full, she said to her son, bring me another vessel. And he said to her, there is not another. Then the oil stopped flowing. Whew. She's filling the buckets. She's filling it up. It's getting full. She's moving it. She's getting another one. And then all of a sudden she says, all right, go give me the next one. And her son is like, ain't no more. I wonder if she stood there and was like, dang it. I went to Madia's house, got her buckets. I went to Janisha's house. I went to Celeste's house. And I just thought, I thought it was too much. So, and I got tired of asking people. And the way that they was looking at me when I was asking them, it was like, I don't feel like knocking on no more doors. I done got, and then this many people told me no, so I'm just going to go ahead and accept what I have. I wonder if she was like, dang, forget them no's. I should have kept, Bobby, I know Bobby got a bunch of pots with that head over there. He got a bunch of pots he washing his head in. I know he got a bunch of pots. I wonder if she would have been like, if I would have got 10, 20, 30, 40 more pots, what would my life be like if I had just kept on knocking? Here's the thing. She still didn't have all the plan. All she had was part one of the strategy. She didn't know what to do next. She was like, okay, cool, I got it. So what does she do now? She goes back to the prophet and says, I've done what you've told me to do. So she don't even know how it's going to end up. It's a whole faith thing, y'all. Somebody will ask you, what it's supposed to look like at the end. I don't know. All I know is he told me to go get a whole bunch of pots and start pouring. I'll figure that out when I finish pouring. It was intentional. Because now Elisha's like, ain't no point in us giving you the whole thing if you ain't even going to do part one. How many of you quit all because you didn't know part 2 and 3? You quit in 2024, in 2020, in 2019. God is saying, you got to finish strategy 1, and then I'll give you strategy 2. He tells her, now what are you going to do? You're going to take all the oil, and you're going to go sell it. Still, again, strategic order. After you sell it, what you going to do? You're going to pay the bills, you're going to pay the debt collector, and then you're going to take the rest. She became an entrepreneur. Didn't ask for it. God just set her up with a miracle. And she obviously had enough to live on, at least until her boys became old enough to take care of her. Just look at somebody and say, God is a miracle working God. And he still is. Her life was changed forever. I'm done, Dwayne. And all she had was faith and oil. If you didn't write this word down, write it down. In 2026, he's blessing the oil that's already in your house. Now, if God already told you to start something new, okay, this word wasn't for you. Maybe in your newness, he got you seeking out strategy. But for a bunch of us in here, he's saying, I ain't got nothing new for you in 2026. Go back and use the strategy and the skills and the experience that I already got. I'm going to bless that. I'm going to work a miracle through that. And that's going to be the platform that launches everything else that'll be new. Why would God give me this skill? For it to be wasted. Why would God give me this experience for it to be wasted? He didn't. Look at somebody again and say, trust God and try again. All I got is some oil. And that's more than enough for God. Come on, stand to your feet and give God a praise if you receive that word by faith.